Folks, welcome to day 2. This was nothing short than an overwhelming day, just in terms of what we were doing together. This is actually before our mission starts. Our mission starts day 3, which is Tuesday, which is when the Mizrahi RCA mission started. This is just our own things. Rabbi Axelrod and I were just going around doing a number of things beforehand, representing our communities and doing some incredible things. Just want to share some of those things. The first thing we did in the morning was we went to what is called the Summit Institute, which is an organization which deals with foster care and mental health around the Yerushalayim catchment area, and we worked with them to discover just really where we met the leader of Summit. It had been around for 50 years. His name is Yoni, and we learned a lot about what it does and how it's been involved in the finding places and the mental health care for the Yasamim, the orphans, both from father and mother. There are 20 such children from Gaza. Lo Aleinu. It's unimaginable to think about. And we just actually are going to be Be'ezrat Hashem partnering with them to help the foster families look after these special young children.
So we're outside the steps of the offices for an organization that's called the Summit Institute, which is one of the NGOs in Israel that works with foster children.
So what we did is this organization has been around for 50 years working with foster children. And one of the laws in Israel has changed that even family members who have foster children have to abide by the laws of fosterhood. And they are now working directly with 20 children who have lost a parent from both sides, who are now staying by family members in Israel.
So we heard that there's such an organization working with this specific group of victims, the most vulnerable who lost both parents. We reached out, and I want to thank Dov Later for making that introduction. And at today's meeting, we came to a decision with them that the Five Towns community will be taking on these 20 children. At this point, what it will mean is a $5,000 grant per child to each of the families to help and assist in their adjustment. But it's really not just a commitment for now as they are making them their new homes with their foster families, but as we mentioned,
there's also an ongoing relationship. We hope to have a relationship, although legally we're not going to have a direct connection. We're protecting their privacy, and that's what the law is. We're going to support them, and God willing, and their bar and bat mitzvahs, be there with them, Be'ezrat Hashem, and be able to support them and connect and create this connection. It was very meaningful. The folks working in Summit were very, very moved by the fact that we together as a community from Chutzlaretz are connecting these families, especially at such a difficult time.
To think that we'll be able to even be there to make their weddings and to be engaged and involved and seeing them develop as full individuals is something that's very, very special for us and for them.
From there we moved to a Shiva home. There unfortunately are many Shiva homes. The soldiers are protecting our country and unfortunately are being put in terrible harm's way in the most terrible situations. A very special young man, Ro'i Davi, we went to his family's house, and it was truly heartbreaking just to learn about him. One of the things his brother said, his older brother said, is that he doesn't want him to be forgotten. He wants him to be remembered as a fighter, as a person who's always smiling, a person who's always so much joy in life. And it was really just to sit with the father, with the brother, with the mishpacha, and see all Yerushalayim coming out to be Menachem Avel. It was really a very special but very heartbreaking experience.
אני לא מתחרט על כלום, היה לי את השירות הכי טוב שאפשר לבקש.
We then went and got our tzitzis, because between the Young Israel Lawrence-Cedarhurst, Young Israel of Woodmere, Young Israel of Hewlett, Shulamis, Hafter, all those who participated in making those tzitzis, we took those duffel bags, we brought them to Eretz Chemda, which is the distribution point for those tzitzis. We had a little bit of time to understand how important it is. We got to meet with Rav Carmel and Alex Katz, who's really running the operations room there, the war operation room, and just seeing the amazing things they're doing in terms of providing the needs, spiritual needs and physical needs of those who are in the army as well.
Absolutely amazing is that less than maybe a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, we sent tzitziot, the big day tzitzis, and the strings, Baruch Toledano, sent to New York to ensure that the Young Israel of Lawrence-Cedarhurst and the Young Israel of Woodmere would have the opportunity to tie tzitziot that now have returned to Yerushalayim, will go onto a base and onto a chayal in the next 24 hours. To understand the gravity of how we can involve Klal Yisrael worldwide in order to do this mitzvah. It's one of the most amazing things that we're so proud of at Kilat Eretz Chemda, the Kollel, worldwide, is to bring Jews together through Tashmisha Kedusha in order that we will have the Ruach to win the war.
What is nice that we are not enforcing people to keeping mitzvot. The Chayalim wants it.
Yeah, they're begging.
Even the people who are not finding themselves from mitzvot. But we know that inside every Jew, there is something Jewish which makes him special. And this, in time of war, it came out. And the tzitziot became one of the most popular need of all the Chayalim.
And I just want to say from our side, what it's been like is that, we had like literally a day notice, because Baruch, we got it to us like Sunday morning, Steve sent it in, we got it into the two communities, we set up a workshop and explained it. Most of the people didn't even know what it was doing. People came out in the droves, and the schools wanted, so we shared a little bit with Hafta, Shalamis, and these schools were doing it, and literally parents came to make with their children. It was the most beautiful thing to watch people who never made statistics.
Right. None of these people. They
learning, we did explainers, and the people felt so connected. People said, thank you for allowing us to be part of this. So it was just really, you should know the love on both sides.
And it's just also the fact that it was something that's going to be worn by the Chayalim. And I know for everyone, both here in Israel as well as in the Golah, everyone just wants the Chayalim to succeed. And if we could give them that spiritual protection of what the tzitzit represents. And so it was a beautiful scene in our shul. We had like over 60, 70 tzitzis makers saying l'shem, mitzvahs, tzitzis, and all working, parents, he said, parents and children. It was just something beautiful. And the people in America want to do everything that they can to help the people in Israel.
And we learned about a new project they're doing, which is sponsoring new Batei Medrash, movable Batei Medrash, which are these movable bookcases which turn into a base medrash in the field, because soldiers can be out there for weeks. There's no immediate end of this war. And there are 2 sets of svarim, so people can learn b'chevrusa when they're out there. Our shul's very proud to sponsor a number of those as well. From there we went and we actually set up a very special thing. And this is really thanks to Rabbi Axelrod's son, Eli, who really did a lot of groundwork to invite the communities to help at one of the many hotels in Yerushalayim hosting those who have been displaced from their place. So a lot of the Sderot community were found in the Olive Tree Hotel on the border of Yerushalayim, the East Jerusalem community. And we went there. We brought a balloon guy and some music, and it was a lot of fun. We had an ice cream truck, and it was a little heartbreaking because we were giving out all these ice creams, and at the same time, the hotels next door, the Leonardo, and there's a third hotel. When they heard about it, they also came, and we gave out way more ice cream than we'd even planned or had paid for it, and that was just because there were so many kids. And how could you turn down these beautiful little children who are displaced, not in their homes? And it was just a very beautiful experience. It was so nice to see so many young Israel, Lawrence-Cedarhurst, young Israel of Woodmere, and there was a whole bunch of families from Far Rockaway who moved made Aliyah and were living across the road in Arzei Abira, who came as well. And the most meaningful thing was actually just the person-to-person meetings, hearing about these people's stories, hearing how this person used to work in a factory where he can't work, but his wife is sick and he has to be here, so he can't really go back to work right now. And they're waiting, and they're not sure when the end of the story is going to be. The elderly woman who only has the T-shirt on her back because that's what she was able to leave with. The other fellow who, in his absence, saw that his house had been hit by a rock. I mean, it's just story after story, very, very meaningful just to meet the actual people themselves. And then after supper, what we did was we went out down to Efrat, where we got to spend time with Alan Haber and his family and the incredible community there in Efrat, which was set up in the last 4 weeks, nothing less than a war room in terms of supplying the needs of soldiers in the field and supplying the needs of the Kitotit Konanut, those first responding teams that are internal to every yeshuv. They're working in the Etzion block. It's pretty amazing to see, and we're very proud the young Israel Lawrence-Cedarhurst had a number of special members have been supporting such an effort, and literally as we were there, soldiers were coming in, picking up things, got to learn and see what civilian efforts can make a difference in military efforts and in the preparedness of our country. It really was a remarkable opportunity to see in action. And we went down to Hebron. We went with Rabbi Weiss, who's the commander of the base there. It's a base of regular army and also Milunikim, the reservists who have been called up. And it was very special. We had a little bit of opportunity to be together with Mark and Livia Rottenberg, who came with us down to Hebron to share that incredible experience. It really was something to remember. We learned a lot about the drone units and these incredible units of young women who are keeping guard of our brothers and our sisters in Israel. It is remarkable just to see the level of sophistication, the level of dedication of what they do to protect us. I understood we got to meet a young lady who runs a K9 unit that goes in every night for many missions to find people who are storing weapons illegally. We got to meet some of the people, just people coming in from the field, because we had a barbecue. We had music there. I was distributing all these beautiful letters from Haftar for these kids who are writing these beautiful letters, and I was giving them to soldier to soldier. I was so appreciative of this, that children are thinking of them from in Chutz La'aretz. It was so meaningful. And you see people literally coming in from missions. The sniper who's out in the field for a number of hours, who's a reservist. Each person got to meet this Druze commander whose very good friend was killed last week. Salman was an individual who went and saved so many lives, and you just hear story after story after story. It's overwhelmingly meaningful. And this went to late hours of the night. We want to thank a special thank you to Elliot Tamara Lanauer, Beryl Eckstein, young Israel Lawrence-Cedarhurst, and young Israel Woodmere, who is sponsoring this event and making it possible. There's 600 soldiers in this base, and it kept on rolling admissions. People just kept coming in. It was such a chizuk.
ממש אנו מהשכונה שלנו ב5 Towns רצו לעשות משהו בשביל החיילים והחיילות. כדי לשלוח לכם מסר שאתם לא לוחמים רק בשבילכם ולא רק בשביל האזרחים של ארץ ישראל ומדינת ישראל, אלא בשביל כל היהודים בעולם.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of Jews around the world care about you. And it's not just that they care about you. You fight for them! ושתדעו, בכל מקום שאתם נמצאים, בחושך, לבד, אתם לא לבד. לא לבד, לא לבד. עם כל כלל ישראל שתחזרו לבתיכם בשלום. אמן! ושעם ישראל חי וקיים. תודה לכם, ממש תודה.
And then after that we got to get into Hebron. It's this Parashas Chayei Sarah. How could we not go into Hebron? We went to Yeshua's Shavei Hebron, which is remarkable. It's a huge base of 400 young men learning in Hebron right now. We got to learn a little bit David Marav there. See where W. Weiss's institution was really a remarkable day.